Hey guys, what is going on? This is your old pal CHH. So today's video is going to be kind of like a discussion video. Now, I'm not breaking any new ground with this, especially this clip I want to show you guys. Long story short, my wife watches this show where this guy eats hot wings with people, and I'd seen clips of it here and there, but I never really actively sat down and watched it. And I saw that they have some wrestlers on there every now and again, which I thought was cool, but you know, and I've even seen this clip before, but I wasn't really paying that much attention to it till finally I saw this and I was like, I want to talk about this. So Matt Damon, the actor Matt Damon, was on Hot Ones, the show, and he was kind of set up this question to kind of talk about why movies aren't really the same anymore, why there isn't quirky, weird movies or movies that can have sequels that are good, but sometimes they're one and done. People say, well, what happened? Where's the next one? We even see that today with Netflix where they kill some of the greatest shows like Mindhunter. But anyway, this clip was really intriguing, so I want to play this clip for you guys, and then when we get done, I want to discuss with y'all. So here's the clip in question of him on Hot Ones talking about physical media.
So I think a scenario lots of viewers can relate to is sitting on the couch on a Friday night, going through the streaming services, cycling through the movies and thinking to themselves, they're not making movies for me anymore. As somebody who's been intimately involved in movie making for 30 years, what are the macro Hollywood conditions behind that sentiment?
Well, so what happened was the DVD was a huge part of our business, of our revenue stream, and technology has just made that obsolete. And so the movies that we used to make, you could afford to not make all of your money when it played in the theater because you knew you had the DVD coming behind the release, and 6 months later you'd get all, you know, a whole nother chunk. It would be like reopening the movie almost. And when that went away, that changed the type of movies that we could make. I did this movie Behind the Candelabra, and I talked to a studio executive who explained it was a $25 million movie. I would have to put that much into print and advertising, right, to market it, what we call P&A. So I'd have to put that in P&A. So now I'm in $50 million. I have to split everything I get with the exhibitor, right, the people who own the movie theaters. So I would have to make $100 million before I got into profit. And the idea of making $100 million on a story about like this love affair between these two people, yeah, I love everyone in the movie, but that's suddenly a massive gamble in a way that it wasn't in the 1990s when they were making all those kind of movies, the kind of movies that I loved and the kind of movies that were my bread and butter.
I mean, absolutely fascinating. It's because, you know, a lot of us that are physical media collectors, we talk about how important it is to us and why we love it and how, you know, the ownership of movies is so important. And I don't like sounding like the old man. I'm sure a lot of you don't either. But it's like, why are movies so, like, there's so much, like, it feels like there's so much compression today. Like, when I go to my movie theater, the local one, it's superhero movies and a few big name actors that have somehow outran the market of how movies come out today. And I'm talking like Harrison Ford or Tom Cruise. Like, if you're Tom Cruise, your movies are going to do good, your movie's going to make a lot of money. But it's like, where are the quirky movies nowadays? Like, it's true that everything is so refined now, and I never realized how important DVDs and stuff were until he said that. It makes total sense that, you know, before streaming, people would go to the... It's when we were growing up, if you're my age, I'm 32, going to the movie store was literally a part of your routine with your family. Like, it wasn't like you went once a year. We went once a week. We'd rent a movie, and then we'd bring it in and rent another movie. And that was how I experienced, like, probably 80% of the movies in my life growing up was through the rental stores and renting movies and home video. And it makes total sense that by doing that, we were being a part of the success of movies that might not have done that great in the box office. I'm sure there's movies out there that if you look at the box office from like 1997, 654, they could have done bad at the box office, but they're not looked at as bombs by today's standards because they did so well on home video. And that whole second wave of revenue and that whole second wave of letting something brew and marinate and see if it gets a fan base, because there for a while it wasn't even like there was an expiration date on making money. If a movie came out in 1993, in 1997 it could still be generating tons of sales because of the cult fan base growing and growing and growing, and people picking up a title and things like this. And then you could get sequels to something, and then it was just it's like studios seemed like they probably were willing to take chances and risks when you had two opportunities for major revenue streams, obviously with the theaters and home video. And now it makes total sense because there's only one major revenue stream, which is theaters now, that everything has to go refined. There is no room for risk. Or there is no room for error, it feels like. And, you know, just hearing that, it almost crushes me to think that, you know, the world of movies now is dictated by a group of people in studios that say we can't do that, it's too risky. You know, I actually heard that Megalopolis movie that Francis Ford Coppola made, which you'd think a guy like him, any studio would just want to make his movie, but apparently he had to fund it because it was so weird and out there that no studio wanted to actually fund the movie. I don't know if that's true or not, but I heard that from a number of people. And I would almost imagine if he wanted to make this movie in like 1990, maybe he did, but my point is he would have had a hell of a lot more chance to get it out there then, because you've got the theater, you've got rental stores, you got home video. And now because of the way movies come out, it's just like, damn. You know, with horror, it's interesting, right? Because with horror, I feel like at least there you have your Shutters and stuff, and they are buying the rights and the distribution. I don't think necessarily they have sole rights, like these movies could stream on other sites, but the Shutter is a place where you can go and see weird, different, quirky horror movies, not only from America, but from around the world. But other genres, where the hell is any of that stuff? Like, let me give you guys an example of what I'm realizing hearing Matt Damon talk about why home video is so important. I am a big, like, Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, and I grew up watching his movies big time. Time Cop, Street Fighter, all that, Sudden Death. And after about, like, 1997, Van Damme's box office prowess, if you will, started to dwindle big time. But as a kid, I didn't realize that he was going away, or he wasn't as popular as he used to be, so to speak, because I would go to the video stores and see all his new movies coming out on the shelves in 98, 99, 2000, 2001, up until like Second in Command. I remember getting that movie from Blockbuster when it came out on DVD and renting it and thinking, oh, I just didn't see this in theaters, which I'm not saying that seeing it in theaters or not is as much as the point, but because home video was a different major revenue stream, actors like Van Damme and others that may not have had the box office stature that they once did could still thrive in home video. I mean, for God's sakes, Steven Seagal was the king of direct-to-DVD. And my point with all this is, ever since home video has really gotten dwindled down to just collectors and people like me and maybe you watching this, I couldn't even tell you what Van Damme's done in the last 10 years. Like, I know he's done a few things. I remember after Expendables 2 came out, he had a couple movies that came out, you know, during 2013-14, after Expendables 2 was a big hit. At Walmart, I'd see the DVDs. But after about 2013, 14, 15, you know, the movie sections got smaller. And then after that, it's like, where do you even find Van Damme's stuff? Is he doing movies? I couldn't even tell you. So not only does that second revenue stream stop movies from getting franchise fan bases and franchises to continue, like Tremors, which was a box office flop, but home video, Tremors was insanely successful, and that's why the series continued to go off, because on Tremors is the home video franchise through and through. But because of that being gone, not only do things not have time to room and breathe, but also other people that were doing certain genres that are just dead in America, like martial arts films like Van Damme, I couldn't tell you what he's done. I don't know. I don't see anything promoted for him. I don't see anything. And at least back in the day, I could see his movies go straight to DVD, and they would be out on the shelves, and I could watch them, and I could keep up with him. And I could watch Second in Command. I could watch In Hell. I could watch a lot of these different Replicant. I could see all these movies. But now, like, because of the way the movie theaters work and how dwindled down everything is, if you're not a superhero movie or Tom Cruise or Harrison Ford, it's tough. Horror's doing okay, I feel. Horror, because it's the only genre that's predicated, I feel, more on like a good story or directors, or if it's based off of a Stephen King book. Like, at least there's a couple ways to go. But like in terms of other genres, I feel like it's really gotten dwindled down, and I've never been able to figure out why exactly that was, but Matt Damon just said it perfectly. You know, the sad thing is it is a point of no return. It's not like I can say, guys, support physical media and we can fix this. We know that's not really the case. It's completely unfeasible to say that, but I don't know. It's just a bummer, you know. But I wonder, is there a solution to curtail this one revenue stream way for movies to make money and to have the potential to continue, you know? I wonder, in his case, is the Bourne Identity a series that's gotten sequels based off of home video? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I know I saw a couple of them in the theater growing up, but yeah, this whole thing just kind of blew me away hearing that. It just got my mind racing about, you know, how true. I think I undervalued how important physical media and home video was to the world of movies. So yeah, that was a fascinating video. I just wanted to talk about it, and I want your guys' opinion on that. What do you think we can do to curtail that? Like, what is the way to try to get more quirky and weird movies out there, and movies that may not do well in the box office, but are just good, to try to get legs in a different way? I don't know. Are we just subject to the way the world is now with home movies, or just with movies in general? Let me know what you guys think about that. I just think it's a fascinating look at how important physical media truly is and was. So it's kind of a bummer, to be honest with you. But let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. This is your old pal CHH, and I'll see you guys next time.
Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.